Here's an update to my prior video about how to ship plain white envelopes with free tracking. Can it really be done? Here's the follow-up. So, I posted a video a couple of months ago about how to ship plain white envelopes, or PWE, with free tracking from labels from the USPS website that you can order for free, and they will track your plain white envelopes for free using these bad boys. Had a lot of conversation after that on Twitter, on YouTube, in the comments on that video. A lot of people saying this is great, awesome. A lot of people saying that, hey, this is false, you can't do this, that this doesn't work, this is not a real thing, he's lying, you're giving out false information. So, what's the truth? The truth is, it depends. Truthfully, there are post offices that do not do this, that won't do it. I've got one not too far from my house that wouldn't scan it in for me. When I went to the window to have them do it, they kicked it back. They said that I was gonna need an additional postage. This was after I'd been doing it for months using another post office, and so I figured, hey, whatever, they just don't know what they're talking about. I'll keep using the post office that I normally use just to avoid any kind of issues or whatever. I have now found out that I believe, based on the USPS's information on their website and from people that work there or are more knowledgeable than me with the USPS system, that these labels are not supposed to be used on envelopes. Now, can they be? Yeah, because I've done probably about 70, probably over 70 plain white envelopes with tracking using these labels, and I've had one returned. It went to New York City, and the post office there tried to deliver it to the recipient with additional postage required. They denied it. It came back to me. I repackaged it in a plain white envelope without the label and resent it, apologized to the customer. No harm, no foul. Everybody was happy. It wasn't a big deal. It probably took an extra couple of days for him to get his card. I apologize for the delay. He understood. So anyway, that was the only problem I've had. So anytime I send to New York, I don't include a label, just out of abundance of caution, because I know that there is a post office or post offices in New York that do not like it and won't do it. Everywhere else in the country I've had success. I've seen other people that have had success throughout the country as well. You know, I originally got this idea from a TikTok video, somebody in the craft community that uses these on plain white envelopes that they send out with stickers. And so I figured, hey, if it works for that, it should be able to work for baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards. So I implemented it for this, tried it out for a couple of months. It was working, so I wanted to share it with the community. That's what I did. That was the prior video. This is kind of the follow-up, the aftermath. So, a couple of things to sort out. It's going to be post office dependent. So, if your local post office or a couple local post offices do not do it, I don't know what to tell you. They're probably not going to change their mind. You're not going to be able to get them to do it. So it's just, if they do it, great, free tracking on your plain white envelopes. If they don't, I don't know right now any other way around that other than an update from eBay that's coming up, and I'll touch on that later in the video. But for everybody else, it's free to order these things from the USPS's website. Like I said, I've sent a ton of them already. I've had one out of 70 to 75 get returned to me. Everything else has been shipped with no problem. In fact, after a lot of controversy about how this doesn't work and won't work, etc., my post office lady told me that this doesn't work and can't work, blah, 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 on Twitter, I finally had enough. I said, well, okay, if you or if anybody else, you know, I'll send a couple out as tests. And so that's exactly what I did. One person who told me that their post office said they would not do it. And then another person in the comments as well. I sent 2 plain white envelopes with just some base cards as kind of a trial run. And I'm gonna post the pictures and everything here in a second. So I posted all of that to Twitter. They sent me their addresses, I sent them out, they got them, no problem at all. In fact, one guy got it within a couple of days because he was relatively close. The other guy was on the other side of the country during the holidays. It took about a week or 2 to get there, but it got there, scanned, tracking the whole 9 yards, went through all of the updates. I told him, I said, hey, it looks like you're gonna be getting in the next couple of days based on the tracking. Let me know if it shows up. He sent me the picture, he opened up the envelope. Hey, it came. So it does work, and I'll show you proof again in case you need proof, but my post office, I have used it 70, 75 times, and it's not been a problem. In fact, I dropped off 4 this morning. So what I normally do, and I'll kind of give you the tips and tricks on how to use these, but so number 1, non-negotiable, got to use non-machinable stamps. Butterfly. So if you look at them real quick, down there at the bottom, it says non-machinable surcharge. So these are 70 cents. They're 70-cent stamps. You can also get 70-cent stamps, I believe, which are, I guess, extra ounce stamps, but they're not necessarily non-machinable. Make sure that they say non-machinable on there, because that's part of it. Helps keep your plain white envelope from getting torn up in the sorter machine with the rollers that they use to sort all of the mail. This makes sure that it is manually sorted, which I think is part of the benefit and part of the reason why this works, is because they're manually sorting these anyway, so it's not hard to scan that label. All right, once you put the non-machinable stamp, put the tracking label, and then send it off. So here's how I do it. A lot of people had put that they put it in their mailbox, and their mail carrier brought it to them and said, this ain't gonna fly. That's not gonna work usually. I don't know anybody that's had that be successful. What will be successful, or what I have found to be successful, is bringing it to the post office, dropping it in the blue receptacle outbox, and I haven't had any trouble. If I have boxes or other stuff to ship along with my PWEs, I'll bring it inside. I brought it inside to that post office and watched the lady at the counter scan my plain white envelopes in using those labels. So I know it's not just it's easier to just go ahead and send it rather than send it back to them, because it would have been very easy for her to hand it back to me and say, oh, I can't do this. We can't ship like this. So, and that's a very large post office. It is the largest post office nearby in the largest city nearby. So, capital city of the state that I live in, and I haven't had any trouble. So, don't know what to tell you as far as, whether certain post offices are going to do it or not. Maybe rural ones won't, but certainly the biggest post office anywhere near me that sorts tens of thousands of parcels a day had no problem. So I do have one more update. There is going to be an additional option next month. So it's almost New Year's. In January, eBay has worked with USPS on bringing forward a plain white envelope tracking option. So towards the end of January, they are going to offer, I believe it's going to be called an eBay standard envelope. And it's basically a plain white envelope shipping option for cards. I think it's less than $10. I'll try to remember, or I'll try to look it up before I post the video and put the information here. But I think it's $10, and I believe the thickness is going to be like, you can use 2 top-loaded cards, or 1 top-loaded card and 3 non-top-loaded cards. But I'll try to look it up if that's not right. But you should be able to look up the information, and then once it goes live on eBay, at the end of January. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of information coming out about it. I'm sure I'll do an updated video at that time. So this information is probably only good for eBay sales for another month. After that, it's probably going to be easier to use the eBay standard envelope, because those are going to be, it's going to be less than $1. I think the range is somewhere from 65 cents to 90 cents, depending on the weight. But yeah, it's going to be a big game changer for eBay. I think that shows proof that USPS can scan in parcels for less than $1 and not make a big deal about it. Obviously they've been doing it tons already for me and for others that have been doing this for quite a while now. So I don't think it's a big issue for USPS to do this, you know, for the 70 to 90 cents or whatever charge that eBay is going to come up with, or that USPS is going to come up with for eBay. You know, certainly it's not too overly burdensome for them. So yeah, that's it for the eBay. But anyway, I did promise you some updates as far as the people that we test tried it. So I did some videos and did some pictures of kind of the updates and everything else. I'll drop them here.
All right, guys, so this is me addressing and preparing the 2 test options. So you know, here's me putting the tracking label on it. I put the non-machinable 70 stamp above and address it right here. Here's me dropping the 2 test shipments off at the post office. Good luck, little fellas. Here's the tracking information on USPS's website that I use to continue to track as each parcel reached its destination. And boom, gets to their destination just fine. So this first one was actually in the same state, so it really didn't take all that long to get to him. The other one was across the country and took a little bit extra time, but it was the holidays, but he got it as well.
All right, so obviously, as you can see, those 2 people, you know, we did a test run. One of them super skeptical, one of them somewhat skeptical, but wanted to just kind of try it out and see. But yeah, and they both received it, no problem, on 2 completely different states, 2 completely different areas of the country. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you as far as the people that have said that it doesn't work. I have also ran into the one post office that told me it would not work. I've used 2 other post offices that did it without a problem. So I think it's for a large part post office dependent. And like I said, I don't know that this is what it is intended for. I just know that this is a good kind of a hack that works right now. Not saying that it'll always work, it'll continue to work. And for the eBay sales, like I said, it's only probably another 1 month that it's good for. After that, it'll still be good for any low value card sales that you do on Instagram or you know, message boards or Twitter or anything else like that. If you're selling cards anywhere outside of eBay, you know, that this will still be helpful for those sales. But eBay, it's probably going to be easier to just switch to that eBay standard envelope and do it that way. So, all right, guys, hope this was helpful. Again, please, if you have any concerns, questions, issues, comments, I'm always happy to talk about it in the comments. Drop a comment below, smash that like button if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate if you would subscribe and hit that like button, because it really helps us out bringing you these types of videos and other information. And all right, guys, see you next time. Thanks a lot. Peace. Happy New Year.